Good morning. It's January 20th, 2026, and I'm Reg Knight. I just finished listening to a speech from Prime Minister Mark Carney. He's the Prime Minister of Canada. And in a fiery speech, he shredded the United States and the other superpowers without mentioning their names. He talked about how for decades that the world has embraced globalism with international agreements that were unfair to international powers like Canada. And he said it was high time for shopkeepers, he's speaking about nations, to pull up their open signs and close the door on this type of nonsense. Why? Because these type of things do not serve those nations or its people. He has said effective immediately that Canada will be signing trade agreements with China, including defense agreements with China, as they continue to work with EU nations and NATO to defend Greenland. He said that basically any sort of partnership that they had with the U.S. is now considered null and void because all the things they have done over the decades have made Canada less prosperous than it should be. Now, I think it goes without saying that Canada has a great number of natural resources. Canada operates without a deficit. We're 27 trillion in the hole and they are not. And they have $1 trillion of investment dollars to throw around to do whatever they need to do with it. So he is talking about changing the New World Order to make things more fair for smaller countries with really good economic engines like Canada and moving away from the U.S. So what Donald Trump has done with all his belligerence and all his bullying is he has completely isolated the United States economically, militarily, and right now we don't have a friend in the world. He also brought up Chagos Island. This is an island in the British West Indian Isles that they use for disposing of chemical weapons because it's in the middle of nowhere. Well, Britain gave it back to the people that owned it, and Trump said this morning it was an act of extreme stupidity. And these are the things that PM Carney is talking about. With our nation in a virtual mess, with ICE running around rampant, high trade deficits and $1 trillion in the hole, 27 trillion in the hole, the last thing Donald Trump needs is to criticize another nation on how they should handle their people. My suggestion, if I were on that dreadful cabinet, I would tell Donald Trump to keep his mouth shut as long as it doesn't deal with U.S. national security directly, and it doesn't. I would tell Donald Trump to solve some of these problems at home because we have a great many. Put the bombs away, quit threatening nations, and get out of your head that you're ever going to take Greenland. Because a coalition of the willing isn't forming, it's already here. And despite what you heard that NATO and the EU will not defend Greenland, you better think again. It's the 20th of January, 2026, and I'm Reg Knight. Have a good day.